The rain tapped the glass like soft fingers, and the city lights melted into the dark lawn of the Harrington estate. Evelyn stood at the window in a silk shawl, her fingers counting invisible beads of memory, one by one, then losing them. Behind her, a man in a midnight suit whispered, "Mom, it's me." He sounded steady, but his throat trembled. This was Michael Harrington, the billionaire everyone knew, the son his own mother didn't. "Your tea," said Emma, the head housekeeper, with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Chamomile, Mrs. Harrington." Evelyn blinked. "Where's Michael?" she asked gently. "He's busy," Emma said, and the word fell like a quiet blade. Michael's jaw tightened. He was a billionaire in rooms that obeyed him, yet here, he was powerless. Have you ever felt that? Powerful everywhere except where it matters. The front door sighed open. A girl in a thrift store coat stepped in, her shoes still damp. "I'm Sophia," she said, "the new maid." Robert, the estate manager, barely looked up from his tablet. "Don't break anything," he said, "and keep out of the way during tonight's board dinner." Sophia nodded. She noticed the weight in the air, the kind that sits on a mother's shoulders when her son is a stranger. She noticed Michael's cufflinks, gold and perfect, and his gaze, glassy and lost. "Mrs. Harrington," Sophia tried, soft as a lullaby. Evelyn turned. Her eyes searched Sophia's face like a map she once knew. "Do I know you?" Evelyn asked. "Not yet," Sophia said, "but I hope you will." Emma leaned in, voice like a pin. "Some things can't be fixed. Don't give the family false hope." Sophia held her breath. She'd seen this before, rich versus poor, hope versus protocol. "I won't promise miracles," she said. "Just care." Michael finally spoke. "Care doesn't change facts. Sometimes it changes hearts," Sophia said, and the words hung in the chandelier light. A clock clicked, a storm rolled, the house seemed to listen. Sophia noticed Evelyn's fingers tracing the window frame, for grooves worn smooth by years, touchstones. "What are you counting?" Sophia asked. Evelyn smiled, fragile and bright. "5. 5 what?" Evelyn's gaze drifted. "5 words," she whispered. "I'm supposed to remember 5 words." Michael looked up as if the ceiling might answer him. "What 5 words?" Evelyn's mouth opened, then closed. Silence pooled. Sophia felt a thread tug inside her, a pull toward something tender and hidden. What 5 words can pull someone back? Have you ever needed just one sentence to be seen again? "Tonight," Robert called from the hall. "Everything perfect, understood." His eyes paused on Sophia's coat, damp and cheap. He smirked. Emma's whisper followed. "Stay in the shadows, girl." Sophia looked at Evelyn, at Michael, at the house full of rules and rooms and money. She didn't have wealth, but she had something else, quiet attention. She had a feeling, a path, a promise she hadn't made yet. Thunder murmured, the clock clicked again. 5 words, Evelyn had said. 5 words that could change everything. But what were they, and who would dare say them aloud, before someone tore that chance away? Morning smelled like lemon polish and rain. Sunlight crept across the marble, shy and thin. Sophia arrived early. She brewed tea, not chamomile, but lavender with a twist of orange peel. She'd read once that scent can tug memory like a ribbon. Have you felt a smell pull you into an old room? Evelyn sat by the piano, her hands hovered above the keys, not touching, just remembering texture. "It knows me," she said, "but I don't know it." "May I sit?" Sophia asked. Evelyn nodded. Emma glided in, eyes sharp. "The family doesn't need experiments. It's just tea," Sophia answered. "And time." Emma's gaze dropped to Sophia's scuffed shoes. "Time costs money." "Then I'll pay with patience," Sophia said, quietly. Michael entered with John, the driver, and Robert, discussing numbers, deals, a hospital wing. "Mom," Michael tried again. "It's Michael." Evelyn's smile wavered, polite and distant. "You're very kind, mister." His face flinched. Just a crack, but enough. John nudged Sophia on the way to the door. A whisper only a friend would risk. "He hasn't slept." "I can tell," she whispered back. Sophia watched Evelyn's hands. They were searching the edge of the piano lid. She slipped a cloth between the hinge and wood. Careful, respectful, she felt something there, a bump, a locket taped beneath. "May I?" she asked Evelyn. Evelyn blinked. "If it sings." Inside the locket, a small photo, a younger Evelyn in a yellow dress, a boy with a cowlick and a crooked tie, Michael, maybe 7, on the back, a scribble. "Promise, M." Sophia turned the metal over in her palm. It was warm now. "Did someone give you this?" Evelyn's eyes filled. "A boy, he said he would come back after the rain." "When?" "Every time it rained." Robert's shadow loomed. "What are you doing with private items?" "I'm reconnecting threads," Sophia said. "Don't touch what you can't buy," Robert snapped. The words bit. Rich versus poor dressed as policy. Michael stepped closer. He stared at the photo like it might breathe. "That's me," he said, and his voice fell apart a little. "Then maybe the promise is still alive," Sophia said. Emma folded her arms. "Empty sentiment. Sometimes empty cups hold rain," Sophia replied. She set the locket against the piano. "May I play one note?" Evelyn nodded. Sophia tapped middle C. A soft bell in a quiet chapel. Evelyn inhaled. Her eyes flicked. Something sparked then dimmed. Michael watched. "What are you trying to do?" "Find the 5 words," Sophia said. A pause. The room breathed. That night, while others slept, Sophia walked the halls. She found chalk marks at the back stairs, little white comets chasing each other. She found a photograph tucked inside an old gardening book, Evelyn planting lavender, a note in Michael's child hand. "After the storm, I'll say it." Say what? She wondered. What did a small boy promise his mother? What could be strong enough to cross years and fog? On the landing, she turned. A shadow moved. Emma closed a door quickly. "Were you listening?" Sophia asked. "To what?" Emma said, smiling like a lock. "To a maid invents stories." Sophia cupped the locket in her palm. Her heart drummed. It wasn't a story, it was a map, and if she followed it right, it would lead to 5 words only she dared speak. The afternoon grew heavy, windows dimmed, the air tasted like metal and rain. Robert paced, talking penalties and image. "We have donors tonight, no mess, no drama." Michael stood apart, looking at nothing. His cufflinks shone, but his eyes were dull. "Mr. Harrington," Sophia said, keeping her voice soft, "what did you promise your mother when you were little?" He blinked. Walls rose. "I don't remember." "Try the storm," she said. "Try the garden." Emma laughed without sound. "You're not a therapist." "No," Sophia said. "I'm a witness." Evelyn wandered, slipping from room to room like a melody missing notes. "I have to find the blue umbrella," she murmured. "He'll come when it rains," Sophia followed. "Tell me about the umbrella." "It was small," Evelyn said, "and brave." In the sunroom, the skies finally opened. Rain braided down the glass in silver ropes. Evelyn pressed her palm to the pane. "Michael used to count," she whispered. "Count what?" "Raindrops." "How many?" "5," Evelyn said, and a single tear startled down her cheek. Sophia turned to Michael. "Do you hear it?" He shook his head, raw. "I hear a storm." "She hears a promise." Something shifted, a memory, not a picture but a feeling. Michael rubbed the bridge of his nose. I told her I'd keep something." "What?" Sophia urged. "My word," he said, then winced. "But I don't know the sentence." Robert cut in. "Enough of this, Sophia. Your job is rooms and dishes." "My job is care," she said. "And the house is more than plates." Robert took a step closer. "Don't mistake pity for power. Don't mistake wealth for wisdom," John said quietly from the doorway, surprising everyone. He'd been listening. "Let her try." Emma's lips thinned. "If anything goes wrong, it's on her." Sophia met Michael's eyes. "Will you trust me for 1 hour tonight?" He hesitated. Pride and fear wrestled. 1 hour, he said at last. "No more." As the storm thickened, Sophia found Evelyn's old lavender scarf, still smelling faintly of sun and soap. She placed it on Evelyn's shoulders. "Warmth remembers," she said. In the music room, she lifted the piano lid, cleaned the keys with a soft cloth, one by one, respect like a prayer. "May I try something?" she asked Michael. "If it hurts her, you're done," he said. Sophia showed Evelyn the locket. "He left you a map." Evelyn touched the metal, as if it had a pulse. "My boy loved storms." "What did he say after the storms?" Evelyn's face tilted toward the past. "He would run in, dripping, and say." Her breath snagged on the word, "say." The lights flickered, thunder rolled under the floorboards. Sophia closed her eyes for a beat. She could almost hear a small boy's feet on tile. Not yet, she told herself, not yet. Outside, cars began to arrive. Donors, power, money. The rich came with umbrellas held by other hands. Inside, a mother reached for a son she could not name. Sophia set the stage in her mind. The scent, the sound, the object, the memory, the word. When the room was ready, when everyone who doubted gathered to watch, she would risk the 5 words that might break the house open. Evening dressed the estate in black tie and crystal. Laughter clinked like glass. Cameras flashed. Robert supervised like a general. "No stumbles," he hissed. "No sentiment, we're selling a story of control." Emma arranged orchids and judgments. She nudged Sophia with her shoulder as she passed. "Invisible means safe, remember." Michael moved among donors like a ghost in a suit. He smiled, he signed, he checked the door every few minutes. Always, he returned to the edge of the music room, to the place where his heart waited. John stood near the corridor, a quiet sentinel. Sophia brought Evelyn to the piano. May we sit for a song, she asked. After the speeches, Robert snapped. It won't take long, Sophia said. Robert's laugh was soft and sharp. People like you don't decide timing here. There it was again, bullying dressed in etiquette. Have you seen it, the way wealth makes rules and calls them manners? Michael stepped in. One song, he said. My event. Robert froze, recalculating. Of course, he said. One. The room hushed as Evelyn approached the piano. She touched the wood like a face she once loved. Sophia placed the locket where Evelyn could see it. She cracked a window so rain speech could slip inside. The scent of wet earth filled the room. She knotted the lavender scarf softly around Evelyn's shoulders. Warmth remembers, she whispered. Emma rolled her eyes, but even she didn't speak. Sophia sat beside Evelyn, hands on her lap. Not the keys. You taught Michael to count, she said. In storms. Evelyn's eyes glimmered. He was afraid of thunder. So you made the thunder a game. Yes, Evelyn said. Yes. Michael came closer, his breath caught. The donors leaned, the cameras watched. Sophia tapped a single note, middle C, then waited. Listen, she said to Evelyn. To the rain. They counted in a whisper. 1. The pane clicked. 2. A drop raced the glass. 3. A drum roll of thunder. 4. A deeper, older boom. Evelyn smiled like the sun under the sea. 5, she said, and the word shook. Sophia turned to Michael. Stand here, she said softly. Right beside her. He did, trembling. The billionaire obeyed the maid. Robert's jaw worked, Emma's hands clenched. Say your name, Sophia whispered to Michael. He tried. Mom, his voice failed. I can't. Sophia squeezed his sleeve. Then let me. She looked at Evelyn, not at the donors, not at the rules. Her voice was steady, warmed by rain and hope. She leaned in so Evelyn could hear only her and the storm. Evelyn, Sophia said, and the room held its breath. I'm going to say something your boy once promised. Emma's eyes flashed. Don't, she hissed. You'll break her. Sophia kept her gaze on Evelyn, on the woman, not the crowd, not the money. Evelyn, she whispered again. Are you ready? Evelyn's fingers curled over the locket. Yes, she breathed, a feather of sound. The chandelier trembled with thunder. The house leaned in. Sophia opened her mouth, and let the 5 words fall. But what she said would either mend a life or shatter every rule in that room. Sophia said them like a key turning in a lock, careful and sure. Evelyn, Michael kept his promise. The words were small, but the room moved. Wind met window, rain braided harder. Evelyn blinked once, twice. A light turned on behind her eyes. Memory stepped onto the stage. Shy but brave, she reached for Michael's hand, found it, traced the knuckles like old music. Michael, she whispered, you came after the storm. Michael broke, a sound left him he didn't know he owned. He sank to his knees, face in her palm. Mom, he said. Mom, she laughed, a sound like dry leaves catching sun. You got so tall, he cried and smiled at the same time. I promised, didn't I? You promised, she said. You said you'd come back after every storm and tell me. Tell you what? He asked, holding on like a boy. Evelyn's eyes brimmed. That you kept your promise. The donors forgot their drinks, the cameras lowered, even Robert lost his lines. Emma's mouth softened, then trembled. She looked away first, a small surrender. John stood straighter, like hope had shoulders again. Sophia stayed still. She didn't reach for the moment. She let it bloom. Silence became holy. Time held its breath. Rain softened to a hush, like applause far away. Evelyn pressed her forehead to Michael's. My boy, she said. I knew you by thunder. He laughed through tears. Then I'll bring storms every day. Bring lavender, she said, smiling. It lasts longer. Michael stood and turned to Sophia. He didn't talk about money, he didn't talk about image, he spoke as a son. Thank you, Sophia nodded. You did this, he shook his head. You remembered for us until we could. She glanced at Emma, at Robert, not to shame them, but to set a new rule in the house. Care isn't noise, she said quietly. It's a map. Robert cleared his throat. We should update the plan. The words felt different in his mouth. Emma approached Evelyn, voice gentler. Would you like more tea? Yes, Evelyn said. The lavender kind. Emma blinked, then nodded. I'll make it right. And for once, she meant right, not proper. Later, when the guests had gone and the night smelled like wet stone and new chances, Michael met the staff in the kitchen. No tuxedo, just a man. We're raising wages, he said, and rewriting the rules. Robert stared, then nodded. John smiled. Emma swallowed hard. It's time, she said, almost to herself. Sophia walked the dark hall back to the music room. The locket lay warm on the piano. She touched it and felt the house exhale. Evelyn stood at the window. Rain now a mist. After the storm, she said. The air remembers. It does, Sophia replied. So do hands. Evelyn turned, and this time she knew exactly who she was looking at. Sophia, she said, a name placed gently where it belonged. Sophia's eyes stung. Yes, Mrs. Harrington. Bring me the scarf, Evelyn said. And tell me that story again. What story? The one where a poor girl taught a rich house how to listen. Sophia tied the scarf, the piano waited, the rain approved. In the quiet that followed, Michael's hand found his mother's again, and the promise grew roots, because sometimes healing is not loud, sometimes it is 5 small words, carried on rain. And you, watching this, what do you believe can bridge the distance between people? Money, rules, or a simple promise kept?